In this video, we're going to do the lab for the for loop. A for loop basically is a loop that allows us to go through a sequence. So here's the example. The general format of a for loop in Python is a for item. So for is actually a keyword, and item is the one that we retrieve from the object. And every time we're going to retrieve just one of them and then keep moving. And for each retrieval, we're going to do the statement to do with sometimes with the item, sometimes not necessarily be always with the item, but we're going to do one block of the instructions. And here's a typical example. So we can have a for is a keyword, in is a keyword, and you have this column. So for is a keyword, in is a keyword, and the column is a format. So then you have the variable name, and then in a range of number of times to repeat. For example, we can execute this example by this basically says we're going to have a range, and we're going to have basically 10 times, and you can actually print out what's the ith value. What's ith value? For example, if we do this, hello, then space I equals, how about that? And then let's run this. You will notice that I starting from 0 and ends at 9. Totally is 10 elements, 10 times. So this will give you the execution. So for loop is doing repeatedly work. Now we have a list. For example, we have a list, and then we can actually go through every elements in the list as well. So in this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I equals and then plus stri, and then you're going to see that I actually starting from 1, next one is 2, 3, 4, and for each of those numbers, then we're going to do this print. So you see, hello, I up to 10. So basically it goes through every single elements in the list. Same thing here. It's basically print out what's the ith value, right? So from 1 to 10. The range function, it is a function that is given in Python. So you are going to, if you just put an integer, that will start from 0 and ends at n-1. And you can specify what is the beginning of the number. So it will start from 1. So this means starting and ends. So it's great. Equals to the starting point is less than the end points, the end number. So starting from 3, less than 7. Starting from 2, less than 14, and this parameter means the step. So that means we're going to go every time we add 3 to the previous value. For example, the first one is 2, then we add 3, that becomes 5. 5 plus 3, that will be 8. So that's called a step. And then we can have a minus. Minus means we are going to go backwards, right? We're going to go backwards. So just to add, so 9 plus minus 1, that will be 8. 8 plus minus 1, that will be 7, and so on. So that's the sequence. So once we have that, then we can actually generate a list of numbers. So I is in a range from 2, starting from 2 is less than 15, and every time we increase 3, okay, increase 3. So this is it. And here it says the end is not a new line, instead it's just a space. So that's why you are printing all the numbers in one row. And another way you can do the range is the same thing. We can do this program as this following. So we started from 5 and go less. It has, in this case, it has to be it's not 0, so it's the number before the 0. So starting from 5 minus 1, it's 4. For 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And the 1 minus 1 is 0. And the 0 we are going to stop. We're not going to execute. So because we reached the target, so we are going to finish this for loop, and then we print out this blast off. So this is the condition, and this is the for loop. And for modulo, we can do something like we know that modulo basically is keep the remainder after division. So 15 divided by number 2, that'll be 7, and the remainder will be 1. Therefore this is going to be 1, right? And 4 divided by 2, the remainder will be 0. Therefore this is 0. So normally we use the modulo of number 2 to determine if it's odd number or even number. If mod 2 equals to 1, that means it's an odd number. If modulo to number 2 equals to 0, that means this is an even number. And the example, another example is we can simply, in this case, we're going to find all the, so if the number mod number 2 equals 0, that means if this number is an even number, then we print it out. So you're going to see list 1. Our list 1 is right here. So our list 1 is right here. So we're going to see all the even numbers, right? Even numbers. And the list 1, again, this one is, so we're going to print out, if it is a even number, then we print a number, otherwise we print an odd number. So you're going to see odd number 2, odd number 4, something like that. See, odd number 2, odd number 4. And so all those odd number is not printed. Instead, it's just the odd number. So for this one, the loop variables, sometimes we can do some variables. We can work with the variable, however, it will not change the value of the variable. For example, in this case, I am executing 3 from 0, 1, 2, and then each time I add 1, because this is integer, I can do the math. So that's what we can do. That's what we can do. We can do the calculation, and then suppose we have a list sum is 0, and then we can add all the numbers together to calculate the summation of all the numbers in the list. So we can simply just do a for loop and then list plus equals to some number. So this will print out all the numbers together. That's going to be 55, right? And then the next example is suppose we have a string, and then I am using the letter to go through the string. So when we print the string, that will be starting from each character. We're going to go through each character. So this is we treated the whole string as a sequence. So we access each one characters. So you're going to see T on the first row, H on the second row, I on the next row. So if you run this, you're going to see that. So everything, including the space, right? So, all right, this is the lab part for the loop.